That's looking sick. What's up?
Sending to Canada with a care package.
Do I get samples?
Yeah. So.
Well, hello, my good people. Have I got a story for you today? Alright, so this is something that happened to me about a week ago and has led up until, I guess yesterday is my last day of this being an active member of this arc. But anyways, so Thursday before last, I believe, I heard that there's going to be a cover band for Tom Petty downtown in Erie, Pennsylvania, where I am, and I live like 5 minutes walking distance away from downtown Erie. So I was like, no, I got nothing better to do, and this is a rare opportunity where I have nothing planned for me. So I went downtown to check it out, and it turns out they're just doing a sound check today, which I've never heard of someone doing sound check a day early, but you know, you gotta be sure, so it made sense to me, I suppose. But point is, there was no band playing there, so I figured, you know, I was already downtown, and I always like to make a point of walking the city that I'm in, and truly experiencing it. I hadn't done that yet, so I told myself, since I was already downtown, I might as well go experience some local food or walk around and see what's going on. So I came across this place called Steve-O's Pizza that had been recommended to me before. And while the toppings do not stay on top of the pizza is very delicious. And that pizza is a very important part of the story. Just you wait. So next, while I was waiting for my pizza to be cooked, there was a newspaper that had all the music that was going on in Erie, all the artists, all the everything going on in Erie from the beginning of the summer to the end of the summer, which is pretty much the time that I was stationed here, luckily. So I looked inside of it, and of course there's a bunch of venues that I have already heard of, because I had been looking for, you know, clubs since I got here, but they're all 21 and up, and all the ones in the paper were 21 and up as well. And I'm only 20 years old, and this beard is not fooling anybody, and how scraggly it is. It doesn't even grow on the left side, you see that? It's uneven. Dorky. Love it. But anyways, I came across this one thing called Basement Trasmissions while I was looking through this newspaper, and I told myself I hadn't heard of that. No one had told me about that, and I started to get really curious. I was like, yeah, that sounds like an underground punk club, you know? I always wanted to go to one of those, but I was just kind of like, it's probably just some regular 21 and up club. And I punched it into Google Maps, and they didn't even have a website. They only had an address, which was 11 minutes walking distance from where I was at Steve-O's. So I walked there, and I nearly missed the place because it just looked like an abandoned building. And I started to approach the building, and the open sign was off, so I was thinking, you know, they're probably closed right now. Just better luck next time. Whatever. You know, big deal. Go back home. Another uneventful day. Then this guy walked by. Random guy. Saw that I had a pizza in my hand. He was like, hey man, can I have a slice of pizza? And I said, yes, you can have a slice of this wonderful pizza. And then I asked him, like, do you know this Basement Trasmissions place? Do you know anything about it? And he's like, nah, I don't know too much about it, except for they always keep the doors open, so if you want, you can just walk right in. So I believed this stranger, and I walked right in. And the first thing I did was look in front of me, and there's a pretty small stage with one spotlight on it, and the rest of the place was completely dark. So I was kind of worried that I was just like going into this like random business unannounced, but I don't know, I guess something told me that I should do it, and I started saying, hey, anybody in here? And this guy came down from the sound room and said, yeah man, what's up, how can I help you? And I started explaining my situation, saying, you know, I was looking for one club to go to that isn't 21 and up, and he said, man, you found the right place, and come meet the owner. So I was like, okay. I still had the pizza in my hand as well, and he took me to the back and the porch, and he opened up to this tiny ass porch, and there's like 5 people sitting there. There's an off-duty cop, there's this like giant burly metal dude eating ramen noodles, there's this tiny skinhead looking dude. He wasn't a skinhead, he just shaved his head because it's the summer. And he's actually an artist that had his art posted there, and he's really good at what he does. And then right in the middle of all of them was Bob. This guy had a walker, and it was on its side, and the first thing I saw him doing was making this giant blue papier-mâché satanic symbol. And I got to talking to him. Well, I mean, I didn't get to talking to him. I didn't know what to say to any of them because I was just this random dude that walked into a place of business. So the first thing I said was, hey guys, you want some pizza? And they're like, yeah, we want some pizza. Fucking cool, get in here. So they just let me hang out with them for a while, and I started talking to the owner, Bob, about like his art and what he does, about how I'm in America and traveling and whatnot. And it was just a really cool, like, pure, honest conversation. It's just really easy to have. And he's talking about how he actually has a friend that was in AmeriCorps twice, named Mike. And what was crazy is this guy, literally last year, was in AmeriCorps STL at the same campus that I went to. And I ended up meeting him. We became great friends really quick. It was wonderful. But that's a different story. But anyways, the reason why I bring that up is because shortly after, Bob was telling me, like, you guys need, like, service hours, right? I was like, what do you mean? Like, independent service hours? She's like, yeah. Why don't you come volunteer at my club here soon, and we'll let you into concerts for free. So I said, that sounds like a good idea. So that's what I did. And the first show that I went to, the headliner was called Green Jello. Green Jelly, Green Jello. They went by both. And they were just wild. They weren't necessarily, like, good musicians or technical, but that wasn't important, dude. They were showmen. They were wonderful. And the first thing that they did, the frontman got on stage with their 9-piece band and said, hey, we need 31 people to go to the back in this, like, deep, grelly voice. She's like, right? And then 31 people went to the back. He got 31 people to go back there, and they had exactly 31 giant duct tape / paper mache masks that the band actually met Guar when they were still around, and Guar sat down and taught them how to, like, make that style of costume. So it was really cool to be wearing those. And they were like SpongeBob and Captain Crunch and a bunch of pigs and different farm animals and aliens and anything you can think of, man. They had a mask for it. And they told us all to put them on. And when the front man said, hey, get on stage, they said, go get on stage and have yourself a puppet mosh. And I didn't really know what they meant at first, but they were able to fit 31 people, not including the 9-piece band, on stage playing and just, like, going nuts and having this puppet mosh. And they ended up pushing us down into the crowd. And there's this one song where they told us all to get down real low, and he was talking in this, like, really whispery voice, and he started getting more intense, and the music started to swell, and they just erupted, and everyone started going crazy and just moshing with these giant paper mache masks on. I think I had, like, a rabbit on. I don't know. That seemed to call to me. I wanted to be a bunny that night. So I put a rabbit mask on. I could hardly see anything. I just brief moments of people, like, thrashing themselves around, so you never knew when you're going to get, like, smacked in the head or, like, pushed to the ground or whatever. Mind you, if you ever get pushed to the ground, like, everyone will stop what they're doing and make sure they pick you up. There's a lot of love there. Just pure, honest, healthy release of aggression. And I don't just say that because I saw it on a punk video of some advocate. I say it because I've experienced it, and that's what it feels like. So yeah, that band was just wild. If you ever get the chance to see Green Jelly live, do it. I don't care what kind of music you're into, you'll love it. It's primitive, it's real, it's good for your health. Your neck might be a little sore, but your brain will be pure. So yeah, that was my little adventure with the underground club. And I mean, I guess it's kind of an underground punk club, but Bob, the owner, he kind of loved all music, So I went there one night, and it was, like, crazy costume metal, and then another night, and it was, like, just some... Actually, this one band called Upon a Burning Body headline. I saw them for free. And they come from San Antonio, where I lived, like, 10 years of my life. So that was really interesting. No matter how hard I try to escape Texas, it just can't happen, I suppose. And then last night, it was like a hip-hop show. So it's like all sorts of stuff going on. And the owner is, like, really open-minded. He loves all sorts of music. And I actually gave him a recommendation of French Kiwi Juice, my favorite artist of all time. If you guys haven't heard of him, French Kiwi Juice, FKJ, look him up. So good, so fresh, so real, authentic. It's good stuff. Yeah, so that was my adventure with the underground club there. And one little piece of news to add on before I let you guys go and watch a bunch of short clips before the video ends. We got our project revealed, and we are going to Sandstone, Minnesota to work with an arborist society. So, a little fuzzy on the details. I'll get back with you guys, explain more in detail of that, but what I can tell you, it's going to be wonderful. Middle of nowhere, Minnesota, heading into the winter. Rough stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys. See you soon.
Think you fit here?
We can fit 500 people. When we have Montana here in a couple weeks, we'll have 400 to 500 people in here.
Where at?
All fucking over the place, man. Every fucking nook and cranny, everywhere. Front room, back room, all over. There'll be people everywhere. Front porch.
I like it though. I'll continue to come over here.
Okay.
I pray run on that earth. I've been so low, but not in my vibe. Most of my stress lies in the work.
Alrighty, guys. So I suppose what I'd like you to take from this story is that you can never be sure that the world is too small to experience something grand, no matter what kind of person you are, no matter what background you come from, and no matter what you think of yourself. This is a big, big world, and you really don't have a choice but to be a part of it. And you can either choose to live a life of seclusion and do nothing but what you're supposed to do and merely take care of yourself, or you can take care of your existence, respect your existence, and have one. Take a step outside of your door, read a newspaper, go get some pizza, and end up volunteering at a punk club and getting into free shows. It can happen to you too. Didn't even think it would happen to me, so why are you any less deserving? I'll see you guys in my next story.